Okay, so now that I have all those embossed, I went ahead and I just separated everything. In my other packets, I put the color banners that need to be, so when I get to them, they're ready. But let's kind of go through this. In almost every banner, there's these little round. I went back and forth about stamping not stamping them, but punching these or not, and I ended up punching them for you. Because at the time, the 1 3/4 punch was back ordered. I'm not sure if it's even still back ordered, but I didn't like it in the bigger size, so that's what I did. You're gonna probably use this on almost, I'm looking at the banner, almost every one of them. You have these little circles. I just took the pointed edge blossom and I'm stamping it tone on tone with Flirty Flamingo, and I'm just centering it on there, already punched. Totally, you're gonna get like that little radiant. I'm gonna do that again on this one. So for this particular flower that we're making for this one, it's using the accordion piece. So I'm just gonna put this aside because we will need it for the other banners. So the way that this flower is, I've given you 2 shy shamrocks, okay? You are gonna need some tear and tape for this to put it together. I find it easier to do the tear and tape on this end right there and go ahead and put it together like that. So you're putting the flat end with the angled end on the second one. And the only reason I find this easier is because when you're gonna accordion fold it, you don't have to worry if you're doing it the right direction or not. For this flower, we're gonna do the pointy out. So first thing I'm gonna do is get that put together, and I'm just gonna start accordion folding. Sometimes, depending on the grain of the paper, it might tear a little bit, but that's okay if it tears on the score. For the most part, you're not gonna notice it. It's gonna be beautiful. We're just gonna keep going back and forth, okay? Back and forth. Until we get it all accordion folded. Okay. So I'm gonna keep going on this, and then I'll be right back for assembly time. Okay, so now that I have this all accordion folded, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna put my tear and tape on the back side of this. This is the other way because I can't always keep it straight in my head. So I just want the tear and tape where it's supposed to be so it matches. So I'm gonna go ahead, and that is gonna go right in there. Okay, so for this one we're doing pointy side out. So I'm gonna put the pointy side on the bottom, and I'm gonna pull my piece over here. You're gonna have this on the standby ready. This is like Fast and Furious here, and we're just gonna kind of just have to push it down, and when you push it down, it'll all start hitting where it's supposed to. So as you can see, like I just pushed them down, and it actually like makes it. Now I'm gonna flip this over because I want the pretty side up. I think that side looks a little prettier. Okay, and this is how you're going to put it together. So I'm going to use my hand. Watch that I don't get glue over my hand because it's hot. Oh shoot. So see, sometimes that happens. We're just going to keep pushing it down, push it down, hold it together, get a big puddle of glue. And this thing is not puddling well for me. There it goes. Get a big puddle of glue, and then take your piece. This is your anchor piece, and go ahead, got a little glue here, and I'm gonna hold that in place till it dries. This is the reason why I like to use the hot glue for this. I like to use the hot glue for this because it just seems to hold it in place better. It dries quicker, all of that. Now, I was bad, and I didn't think about you wanting something for the back, but we have all those florals, so we're just gonna hang on to those. Remember all those die cut pieces that we foiled, or if you have a little extra paper, for those of you that are doing this virtually, you can just pop a circle in the back to hold it in place, because you don't really need it for this one because it's gonna attach to the banner, but if you wanted to cover that up, you can, okay? So I'm just gonna let that do. And then the next piece to this flower is these two little die cuts, and I'm putting them offset. Now for this one, we can use our glue dots. And in my typical fashion, in my limited space, I always lose things because that's how I roll. And we're just gonna grab a glue dot on each one of these, right there in the center, that bigger part. We did our best to give you the best little die cuts. If you're missing a little flower, don't worry. If you're missing one of the petals, you can't tell when you foof it up, but I think this one we got pretty good. It's the ones that go in the center. So I just kind of put those, I kind of foof it up a little bit there, and then I had these little centers, which we're gonna also, you can use your green tip glue or you can use a glue dot, whatever you want there. So there's your center. Now this is the same flower you're gonna use for both your A and your G. And then of course we're gonna add bling to it, because come on, is it any fun without any bling? So let me grab my bling over here, and I kind of did the opposite. This was the dark color, so I'm gonna throw some blings, vary the size. There you go. Okay, so you'll make 2 of those. Clean up any stray glue you got. Use your adhesive remover. But let me show you how the letters are put together. Okay, so we used the dies from the Wildflower Designs. I love these dies, and that's what we used for this. So you're gonna start off, you'll notice this is the inside of the frame that's on the opposite letters. So we're gonna start off and we're gonna pop that there. We're not gonna layer anything down. We're gonna put the black frame there. Then you probably only needed half of this, but I also gave you these. This goes underneath. So make sure when you're putting things on, you're putting them the right side up, because the perforation dots go on there. And this is all put on here flat, and this was all done with green tip glue, whatever your preference is. I love my green tip glue, and I'm just using this to line up to the bottom. So I just kind of put it in the center, line it up to the bottom, put that on there. Then I'm going to do the same with my Very Vanilla piece, and I'm just centering this on the banner piece, okay? And then same, this definitely has 2 sides, and these are a booger when you die cut them, just an FYI to get them out. That's probably took more time, is like the peeling of the frames out. So I would put a little dot on every one of the scallops. Also, the other piece of this was used on the other, and then you're just gonna have to hold it down for a minute because the paper got a little wonky coming out of that die. Mamie did a really good job of pushing everything down, but we did have that. And then you also have this die cut piece right here. So that's the one that, see if you can see, that has a little sunburst in it. That one we're actually going to put up with some dimensionals, and I am not going to break into my black. Oh, here they are. I have black dimensionals already open. You have both sides here, but I'm just going to use the little one here. And we're going to put that right there. Pop that on, and then we're going to add a bling to it. Of course, it needs a bling. Pop a bling on. This layout is the same. You're going to use this layout the same for both the A and the G. So we're doing the A, and we definitely want the mini dimensionals on this. So I'm just gonna, this is why I picked the black, because I didn't want them to show. And you might still have to cut some in half for these little areas if you want them to, but I think I'm good here. So I got that. And then I'm just gonna pop that right in the middle. Okay. And then all you want to do is put this on however you want it there. If you want it right there. Again, I recommend for these putting this on with hot glue. It's heavy, it's going to hold it. So I'm going to pop a little bit. I'm not going to do the G for you because it's exactly the same, but that's it. And you're just going to pop that on. I would wait till you put it all together to put the tab piece on, but there's your first letter. Easy peasy, so simple. I will tell you the hardest part of this project was all the die cutting, which we did for you. So we'll be back with the next one.